Hello everybody, we're back. Another deck tech.
Magic!
And Mr. Boopster as well. So this is a weird one. I don't know how well it's gonna work. I haven't played this online because each of these lands are like $10 online for some reason. So I didn't really want to spend that much money on just trying this deck out. So this is the first time I've ever piloted this, and I don't know how well it's going to do, but we will see. So this is basically a ramp deck, I guess you could call it, where it really wants to just have a bunch of lands, and it has some things to capitalize on those, but we'll get to that in a moment. So start out here, 4 Birds of Paradise. Any sort of ramp deck, especially when you have a ton of 3s, having a turn 1 accelerant is pretty important.
Turn 1 accelerant and turn 2 3-drop is very important when you have this critical mass.
And conveniently, I guess, Birds is actually the worst of the 2 1-drop accelerants. Sakura Tribe Scout is my other one, and this deck actually has 28 lands, a lot of lands, so the odds of hitting with this are pretty good, I would say. So those are the 2 1s, and then we go up to 2, which is one of the reasons I wanted to play this deck in the first place. The Lotus Cobra. We got these sweet foils, and it's just a good card.
Yes,
generally.
Sakura Tribe also better with Lotus Cobra.
Yes, for similar reasons. Sort of obvious reasons. Then we get to 3s. There are a lot of 3s. So 2 Retreat to Hagra, whichever you prefer. This is basically just because it sort of keeps our life total reasonable. We have a lot of these pay 1 life lands, so that sort of lets us undo that a little bit. It gives a creature +1/+0 and Death Touch until end of turn whenever a land enters. If you choose that mode, that's really good with Primeval Titan because it'll have Death Touch and Trample work.
Which is, very fun because you only have to assign 1 damage for Death Touch.
Yeah, and if you do that like a few times, then they're not going to want to trade. But mainly it's there for the life drain whenever a land enters. So a couple of copies of those. 2 Crucible of Worlds, that of course lets us rebuy all these lands that we're sacking to draw cards and dig further. Fetch lands again, lets you reuse those as well. Just all sorts of fun stuff. And it's sort of hard to remove because it's an artifact as opposed to this one, which is a creature that does get bolted. So then we got 3 Azusa, Lost But Seeking. So this lets us get into Primeval Titan or Finale of Devastation really early, because it lets us have tons of extra land drops. It's also very good with these because you can just draw cards.
Those Crucible and Azusa is just a little silly.
Yeah. It's quite an engine. So 3 of those. It is legendary, so maybe 2 of these is a better idea. I don't know.
Or the new Dryad doesn't give you as many land drops.
Or even more sought sword tooths, possibly. Yes. But I like this one. It gives you 2 extras, which is kind of sweet. Then we have 3 Courser of Krufix. So this, of course, lets you play with the top card of your library revealed. If it's a land, you can play it. And whenever land enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. So again, helps offset these. Lets you dig a little deeper since our deck is mostly lands. Well, not almost mostly lands. It's almost half lands.
Yeah, it's almost half. So.
Then
good odds.
Good odds of hitting with that. Ramen Up Excavator. This is here, of course, because it can be searched out with Finale of Devastation, unlike Crucible of Worlds. It's a little weaker than that, but the utility of being able to fetch it, if that's the last piece that you need to get something crazy going, seems pretty good. Then we have a Wayward Sword Tooth. I'm just curious to try it. So Ascend, of course, if you have 10 or more permanents, you get City Blessing, whatever. Then if you have that, it can attack or block, but if you don't have that...
3 mana, 5/5, so...
Yes, which
pretty
is pretty good.
Pretty good, but before that, it's basically an enchantment that lets you play additional lands.
Yeah, which, again, we want to be doing that. So, then we have 4 Prime Times. Principally speaking, this is like the main win condition just because it's a big boy, but you can find it pretty easily, you can dig to it pretty effectively, and it of course lets us keep the party rolling. Then we have 3 Finale of Devastation, so of course getting up to 10 mana to get like the full effect of this is a little hard even in a ramp deck with Lotus Cobras. It can happen probably, but fairly unlikely.
Probably on the back of a Prime Time already on the field.
Yes. So mainly this is here to pay 5 mana and get whatever piece you're missing. But it has a few other little utilities too, like you can just get out a 1 if you need to, like, get prime time the next turn, for instance. You can go for 0 and fetch Dryad Arbor. That's kind of cool.
You can get, like the Lotus Cobra for a little cheaper. Of course, maybe you do need the prime time at 8 mana.
Yeah.
If you can't make it all the way to 12.
But yeah, there's 3 copies of that. And also, it's sort of there because I've never really played with the card, other than limited, I think. So, just want to try it. Yeah, so then for lands, since this is basically a mono green deck, we have almost every copy of the green. What are these lands called? The ones that you sack to draw a card. Is there a name for the cycle?
I thought there was, but I don't remember what it is.
If somebody in the comments knows, let me know in the comments. Then we have 5 forests. There's a reason we have this many basics, which I will get to in a sec. But we have 5 forests, 1 swamp, and of course a Dryad Arbor, in case we need to fetch that out with Verdant Catacombs, Finale of Devastation. Prismatic Vista, curiously enough, cannot get it because it's not a basic land.
Yes.
But the fact that you can have that also be rampant growth, sort of nice. Ghost Quarter, yes. So, Ghost Quarter with Crucible of Worlds / Ramanov Excavator with like an Azusa or something. Pretty nuts, because you can just hit your own lands.
Yeah, well, and your opponent's eventually going to run out of basics.
That too. Yeah.
You can just target basics with Ghost Quarter, and eventually they just run out.
It's true. But that's why I have so many basics in here, because if you want to just do that, you can do that. So that is the deck. I don't think I missed anything. Yeah. Ta-da! Alright. See you next time.
Bye!